and I wrote all the exposés, and this is the first meeting where all of you are here. Yeah, the last meeting was not with all of you. However, I think it's good to start together. And all in all, the idea is, of course, to learn from other mistakes, issues, and so on, and not to blame a person here. It's very important. For me, it's a safe room here, and you can make mistakes and we can figure out then and you can learn. And therefore, I invite all the students here, and I did this 2 years in a distance learning program successfully. So they learn from the problems of the others a little bit, because I perceive that I repeat the same things with the others, and especially here in this case, Karan has a little other focus, but the others are very similar, yeah, and therefore it's also very important for me and helpful, yeah. And I know it's very early for Karen, so thank you for being here because of the different time zone. However, maybe we can find the other meetings a little bit later for you, then it's not so early. Yeah. So, and we have now, I think, 1.5 hour approximately to talk about the things. That means 30 minutes, not really, but approximately 20 minutes per person, about their submissions and about the open questions and so on, yeah. So therefore I reviewed all these things, yeah. And before we start, I want to start maybe, or we have to find a new appointment then to talk about your analysis and maybe your procedure and so on. So we need another date. And normally I have 4 weeks in between, or 5 weeks, but I think it's too long. So I think we need an appointment earlier, because Karen will do a survey, and the idea of the next meeting is that I reviewed the survey or then the guidelines in Mori's case and so on. And yeah, but it depends a little bit on the time schedule you have. And that means Vishaka, Serena, Mori, and we will have an appointment at the university on Friday with Andreas. Andreas Cordes, he will explain us how to analyze such data, because it's also new. And yeah, and therefore we will meet us there, okay? So there will be an additional meeting as well, where we talk about the data analysis, then not today, of course. Okay, maybe we can start with Karen. If Karen, are you ready to talk about you, or do you need more time to? It's too early for you.
No, it's okay. I can go, Professor.
Okay. So Karen is will write his thesis about in context of the company, and he will analyze how digital nudges can influence maybe the intention to not rebuy, but to maybe assign again for this program. And so he will create some nudges here and validate this and evaluate this, yeah. And I ask you some questions, so there's no need to give the presentation again. But I was a little bit confused because of the old and new version. And I saw you wrote me a message, but I wasn't able to read it in this morning. Maybe, so there were so old slides and new, but the old slides are also the right one, or are for example, the research question you mentioned there, is it the right one, or do you have to rework this?
I think when I said old slides, means that is what I've already presented to you in the last meeting.
Okay.
And the new
but it's
yeah, please.
But it's up to date, right? It's not old version, or
yeah, everything was up to date and
okay.
only.
Okay.
What's just the
Then maybe
difference?
go.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe go to this research question and the title.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So the research question is, how can digital nudging techniques influence the certification renewal decision among existing clients of Great Place to Work?
Okay, this is good. And the title, go to the title.
Should I tell the objective or directly skip?
If you can skip, I say.
Okay. So this title number 1 that I have chosen, it states the role of digital nudging in shaping certification renewal intentions, evidence from Great Place to Work, Canada
Yeah.
clients, and
Should is it the did you register with this title or
not yet, not yet. So this is option
okay,
1.
because we have to rework the title then. Therefore, all of you, please take some notes that you send me as soon as possible. That means in this month, new title, okay? Because you'd register maybe with a fictive title. And so we will talk, therefore, for your research question, this is fine. And the title, and you have to inform me via Teams. I opened the Teams, and please use this team and inform me about this is my new title. Please change the title because they will check whether you write the right term thesis or the wrong. Okay, so this is fine for me. Yeah.
This title works. Okay, and second title choice is very similar. Instead of shaping, I am using designing for. The role of digital nudging in designing for certification renewal intentions, evidence, again the same thing. So I was a little confused whether I should use the word shaping certification renewal or just designing for.
I like shaping because the idea of nudging is to shape behavior or decisions.
All right, that's why I also kept it first. Okay.
Okay.
And the third choice is designing for renewal, evaluating the impact of digital nudging on certification decisions among the company's clients.
The both is fine for me. It's your choice.
I think I'll pick the
first
one.
Then. The third you can think about and send me the final title.
Sure, Professor. Thank you. And the third, I think I need to talk about before I proceed. So in the agenda, I'll be talking about, first I've already talked about title. Second, I will talk about a theoretical model I'm building upon, which is relevant to Exposé. Then the methodology, and finally the outline and time schedule. Yeah, but now we will not talk about the old slides and the old things. So today it's important to talk about your research question, your title, and now we go to the next part. Yeah, the literature I saw, it's fine. We go to the next part. It's the method. Which method do you plan to use? Okay, so from the caravan, I picked up this model for the nudging strategy. So it will help me classify which nudging strategy I'm using for certification timeline. And then I have chosen 5 mechanisms in it from 4 different choices. 4 of those mechanisms come from prompt reflective choice, and 1 comes from the quadrant influence behavior. As you can see this in the next slide. So these are the 5 prompts I shall be working on, and I have reworked this model diagram a little to put it in the slide. And yes, and
Very good.
then next, the 5 mechanisms I shall be using are mentioned as: first, facilitate category, and the name of mechanism is positioning. It will help my timeline stages visually arrange and to reduce the decision effort among the clients of the company. And secondly, I am using the category reinforce, and the mechanism is just in time prompts. So this one time says that timeline highlights the stages that renew now at the right moment. So and then third one would be confront category, and the mechanism is reminding of consequences. So it's just basic like simple language and visually indicating that okay, it is urgent or your expiration is nearing soon. But I needed your advice on the fourth and fifth. Would it be too much if I include the mechanism number 4 and 5 that is suggesting alternatives like links to renew early or other types of plans that you should subscribe to? And the fifth one is social interference, that is raising visibility of actions. Phrases like most clients renew in the 10th month, don't wait for the 12th to arrive, or the 11th month. So I need your advice on fourth and fifth. Are the first 3 enough, or should I also include 4 and 5?
I think the fifth is nice. And the fourth is a problem a little bit. Maybe you know the other know this as well. The mechanism, if you create some links and they will leave the page, then it's a danger, right? Then maybe they during this leave they will have other things to do, and then a telephone call or something else, and then they won't come back. Therefore, think carefully about this to just some alternatives. So if you, of course, you can say, okay, there's a early in combination with the fifth stage that X epsilon renew this in month 10, or I don't know. And then you can have a link there, renew earlier, maybe in combination with it. But there's a danger. If you put some links in the website, then they can leave and then maybe not go their steps directly or continue the process. Okay. So I so think about this carefully.
Okay, so the final advice would be, I think I will ignore the point number 4. And for the 5, I will think about it as you suggested. Okay. And these are the literatures I've referred to. I can skip on this. So in the methodology part, this is the original page that the group A will see, and they will suggest their satisfaction and the stage of the subscription they are in the survey. And and the group B will see this page where I designed this digital nudging timeline element, and accordingly they will suggest whether they want to continue and how satisfied they are, all those things. So in my pre-evaluation, I have thought to ask questions about satisfaction, like how satisfied they are. So this is the name of the paper, and the original question is, how satisfied are you with the subscription service on a Likert scale value of 1 to 5? And then my question is, how satisfied are you with your current Great Place to Work certification? And it evaluates, I mean, you already know this. I just wanted to ask Professor, please suggest me which one should be the control variable or the moderation question here. Should it be satisfaction or the intention to renew, which I'll be asking in the pre-evaluation?
So now you have the pre-evaluation here. I think both are relevant to understand a little bit the background and whether there is an influence both. Yeah, if they're not satisfied, or I would suggest both a little bit. Yeah.
So we can have two control variables, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the intention, original question is I intend to use the system on a Likert scale 1 to 7. And this is taken from technology acceptance model. So my question is I intend to renew my certification with Great Place to Work Canada. And
all in all, but it's not enough to have one item. You need more than one. So figure out their thumb, etc. has more than one item there to measure the scale. It's a scale. Intention or satisfaction, both is a scale. The construct, and this construct is measured by items. And you here use only one item. It's not enough. So you need more than one item and use more than one item. And here I think all the participants will get this question. And I would only suggest in this case, because the intervention is not so big, to delete the second question here regarding the intention. You can ask this in the end, yeah. Then after this, but not before. I think it's enough satisfaction, because then they recall what they answered before, and then the tendency is there to repeat this answer. Therefore, I would, because the intervention is not so big, therefore only ask regarding satisfaction here.
All right. So in the pre-evaluation phase, I will only ask for satisfaction, but with a few more questions, 2 more. So in total, there will be 3 questions.
Yeah, 3 or it depends. I am pretty sure that this paper has also more than one question to measure this.
It has 3 questions.
And, then put it there.
All right, Professor. And the third is demographics. So how long, which month of your current certification cycle are you in? So it's like which quarter are you in, or you're not sure about it, where you are. Then I'm asking about age range, and then what is your gender, and these shall be the options. And in the post evaluation, I have 5 questions. So in the post evaluation, there are 3 questions that measure the usability of certification timeline that I have built. So it will be measuring the perceived usefulness of that digital nudging element. So the question...
but wait, but this is only for the treatment group, not for the control group, right?
Yeah, this is
because the controller will not see this.
Yes, this question, usability of certification timeline, will not be seen by group A, and I will come up with a similar question for the group A that sees the old page. I am yet to formulate a question like that, but I thought it would be better I ask your advice on this first, whether I am in the right direction, and then I...
Yeah, but usability, there's a scale for usability. There are many scales, but this perceived usefulness is not the same like usability. So keep this in mind. So if you want to measure the usability, I would say this is wrong, because here you can measure the perceived usefulness of the scale, but then mention or say this is the perceived usefulness and not the usability. Think about carefully which construct you want to measure. Do you interested in the usability or in the perceived usefulness? And I would suggest the perceived usefulness, because the usability they cannot maybe evaluate, because they are not interacting with the real system, right? Because they only see the screenshots there.
Okay.
In between.
Now I understand. So I used the wrong word. I should not use
Mm-hmm.
usability. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up again from the TAM original model. The
Mm-hmm.
question
Yeah,
originally.
I saw this, but maybe
Mhm.
here take the additional questions, okay?
Okay.
Not only one question, you need more than one. I think there will be 3 or 4 to
Yes,
measure
there are three.
usability, usefulness.
So there is question 1 of 3. This is I have. Then second
Okay.
question I have is timeline feature makes it easier for me to plan certification renewal process.
Mm-hmm.
And the third question, sorry, you were reading.
Yeah, then you have to change this, yeah, of course, because maybe today we go not so in detail to the questions. Therefore, I interrupt you a little bit. We have not enough time today. The meeting is that we fix, or that your research question is clear, that your outline is clear, and that you have an idea of a study design. And we will have a meeting in the end of July or beginning where we check the items directly. Yeah.
Okay.
So make clear. Therefore, the introduction. You can use these items. It's fine to measure usefulness, but create items like this for both groups. Yeah. With and without the features. Yeah. But if you only stick to the timeline features, then think about carefully if you evaluate the nudges here. Of course, they are linked to the timeline, yeah. But think about carefully when you only evaluate the timeline. Think whether it's really helpful, or should you evaluate other features, or it's enough to talk about the timeline. Yeah, therefore, all in all, I would suggest think about how you can modify it, that you can capture the opinions of the people regarding the digital nudges without saying digital nudges or something else. Yeah. So that you.
Digital nudges is only the word for my thesis.
Yeah.
Nobody gets to know.
Yeah. I know. So therefore, this is fine to evaluate the usefulness, but go ahead with intention. Which items? Yeah.
This is the third question of perceived usefulness. And
okay.
Then this is from the TAM model behavioral influence. This is the question number 1 of behavioral BI, and the second question.
Yeah, but maybe it's a good idea to stick to one module. I don't understand why you choose items from different models. It's better to stick to one paper and say, I use the items from this, yeah, or from that. So to combine many sources and measure one scale is maybe not helpful, because the validity and reliability, it's measured by the scale, not by each item. Therefore, I would suggest to stick to one source here, use one source, and for one scale, yeah, for intention, for usefulness, and so on, and not jump through different sources. If you want to include more than this, then you should include the whole scale. That means beside 3 items from usefulness from TAM, you should also include this maybe from another source if it's necessary in your for you. Okay?
Okay.
Do you understand this?
Somewhat understood. So I wanted to ask, when you say source, you mean that BI and perceived usefulness PU, they both come from same paper. I found them in the same paper, but you're suggesting the satisfaction comes from a different source, which I should not use, right?
No. That's not good. Go back. For all of you is relevant. So you have here, go to the next.
Okay.
Yeah, post evaluation. Now you have here from TAM, yeah, the item. And then my usability evaluation question is this. Based on time, go to the next slide.
Mm-hmm.
Then here you have a new thing, new paper.
Mm-hmm.
And here from this you have the second item for measure perceived usefulness. And this is not good. So stick to one source. If you want to measure usefulness, use the whole scale of one paper and not from one item from paper A, one item from paper B, and so on, for one scale. Scale is usefulness, satisfaction, and intention. These are scales, construct you want to measure. And stick to one paper here, one source.
All right, Professor. In that case, if I stick to one, then how will I measure the satisfaction in that case? If I stick to just
one? You can. This is another construct. You can choose this from another paper.
All right.
One paper, one. So intention, one paper, one questionnaire. Satisfaction, one paper, one questionnaire, and intention to use one question. So we have to hurry up a little bit. Go maybe to the outline.
Okay. So I'm just skipping to the outline quickly.
Yeah.
Here.
This is also fine. So I gave you some comments here. So as I mentioned before, you have introduction, and in the introduction here you reworked it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I have to check it. You have to give the definition is not enough, and to have a chapter about definition. This is for all of you relevant, very relevant. There's no subheadlines in introduction, and the theory, the definition. It's so boring for the reader to read the definition. Here it's 4 chapters about definitions. And here you use terms like user experience, user interface. It doesn't matter in your case. So you have one chapter define the digital nudges or nudging and digital nudges. This is relevant. And then maybe define explain the current state of research, that you maybe show which digital nudges are there and are used, and which effects they have on maybe re-intentions or something else. So then the definitions and so on, of course, then in case of definitions of nudging and so on and digital nudges, you can present the framework here 2.5 and 2.6, but then you should go to the papers, to the research, give an overview, and then show the research gap which you formulate before, the relevance, and then formulate the hypothesis here. Yeah, the research question is not in the theory part, it's in the introduction. You will mention the research questions there. Here, it's only the theory. In the theory, only the hypothesis. And check this out. We have a detailed description with you and go hand in hand with you through these chapters in the scientific colloquium. Check this out. And we talked about this, okay? Mm-hmm. So, and here it's also in the method part, you can put together sample characteristics and sample recruitment, and the others, it's fine. So, and the conclusion, reference and appendix and declaration, there are no numbers in front of it.
Not even conclusion, Professor?
Conclusion, there could be a number, reference, appendix, and declaration, there are no number in front of it.
Yeah, I mentioned them with an X, that there is no number.
Before. Hmm? Before, you have 7-point reference. And you have only references, you have only appendix without 7 and without 8.
Okay.
Check this out. So it's very important that you work on your theory, because this is like not the right way, I guess. Yeah, think about carefully what are the relevant parts, the relevant terms, what hypotheses they could be. So I think one is enough, maybe in your case, and think about this carefully. Yeah, for the next meeting, it's very important.
And
Yeah, this now it says time schedule there. I wasn't able to see it, and today, yeah, and I think you cannot start with the survey directly. So the process is here clear. You have to create the survey based on and then I have to give you feedback, and this feedback, and then you have to describe how you want to evaluate and calculate the data. And we will do this meeting in the end of July, maybe, or in the beginning of August, and then you will start to evaluate the data or to do the data collection. Parallelly, of course, you should write on your master thesis. However, now I think you cannot start with the survey. So create the survey with Lime survey. It's important that the data are saved there, and then you can submit, and I will check it, and then we will talk about this in this group it's for all of you on this date. Okay. And parallelly, you start writing and rework this.
Okay, Professor, I wanted to ask one thing, that my internship is coming to an end in the end of July. So I won't be able to collect the survey in that case. Would it be possible I can get the questions approved from you a little earlier?
I'm not there. Next week I have holiday.
Oh, okay.
And and the time, of course, but then you have to work on it. Did you create the survey?
Yeah, I am working on it, and I think so I shall be done in like 3 or 4 days maximum.
Yeah, I will see. I cannot next week. I'm only Monday there, and Tuesday the half day. But I have many appointments, and then I'm on holiday, and I'm back the week after. I can try to check it before, because then you have to submit, right, this to the. Otherwise, you have to submit this without my agreement. Yeah, but send me this when you're done, and I can try to check it.
All right. So next, these are my writing. So anyway, I have planned to finish by 15th or 17th of August, having ample amount of time and buffer times in between here. So I think I can finish by 15th or 17th of August maximum. And then I have to send it to one more professor for disputation. And finally I can have it around 8th or 9th. I was thinking this.
In September? You have... No. So you have the July, the August, and the September, 3 months. You have 3 months to finish your register for July, and you have 3 months. That means July, August, and September. So I cannot do the disputation with you on this date.
Okay. So
because you have longer, and you need longer. I think you have to, for all of you, it's important, calculate that this one day, 1 page approximately.
Okay.
To write. Maybe you are very good in writing, maybe, but therefore you see you need the time, yeah? And if you have only here 3 days to write the method, maybe it's possible for you, but think carefully, yeah? And
also I have
the disputation will be in after, when you submit in the end of September. The disputation will be in October.
Approximately
Then
what date would it be?
fun.
Approximately what date would it be, Professor?
Do you need now the date for
No,
the
no, it's okay.
disputation?
I was just thinking.
Yeah, we
It's
will
okay.
talk about this, so you have to
Sure.
ask me. However, it's like I have to search. I'm on holiday in September, so the students who start in June, they will also have the colloquium, some of them in October, and so on. So therefore, it's not possible for me.
All right.
But if you need a certain date because of something else, then please inform me. Yeah.
So yeah, that's all from my side.
Yeah, thank you. So all in all, you should try. The research question is fine. The study design is also fine. Then you have to create very fast now your questionnaire, right? So that I can see the questionnaire and review it if I have time. If not, then of course it's your own risk to submit. It is new for me that you have to leave the company then. Yeah, but I can understand this. So then you should do this as soon as possible. Yeah.
All right, Professor. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, now it's time we will talk about your three papers, and we start maybe with Vishaka and Serena. So because it's really similar to Maurice, and you know Serena and Vishaka, you know these things. Maybe I ask you to write down all of your open questions, and I wrote some comments, and I will open these things for you, and of course the others can also learn from these comments. Maybe I will open the things from Vishaka.